Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you all are doing well. And this is Hina Saif. And today we have a very special guest, very talented, amazing lady, Tara Uzra Dawood. So welcome to the show, Tara. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Hina. It's so lovely to be invited here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So happy to have you here. So, guys, I'll tell you a short about Tara. So, Tara is director at Pakistan Refinery Limited. She's director at Pakistan State Oil, CEO, Educator Girl. She is CEO at Ladies Fund and CEO at Investment 786. And she is a former director, Lahore Electric Supply Company. And she has studied law from at Harvard University, and she's also studied from Cornell University and University of Oxford. So she has a she has such a wonderful, you can say, educational, academic, and professional background. So, how are you, Tara?
Fabulous. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Thank you. So, we will go to your projects. So, first, I would like to talk about your project. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about Ladies Fun. So, how did you come up with the concept of Educator Girl? So, how did you come up with the concept of Educator Girl? Is this something that you are passionate about from the beginning, or you start this like you feel that this is the need of time, and you are aiming? I think you are aiming to educate 1 million girls globally.
Yes, I believe
Oh,
that
that's wonderful.
every girl on the planet should be educated. I believe every person on the planet, boy and girl, every male and female on this planet has a right to their basic education or as much education as they desire. But everyone should have that opportunity. And once you educate a girl, she does the rest. Then her dreams unfold because she's aware of all the possibilities.
Okay. So can you tell more about this project?
So, for example, like I've been very blessed with my education. So, in whatever ways that we can facilitate or help others, Educate a Girl originally began as a humble 1,000 girls in five
Okay.
countries, 5 continents project. And
Okay.
we were educating them initially to be journalists like yourself, somebody who
Okay.
could have a voice. And we picked countries like Pakistan and Nigeria and so forth because we wanted there to be more stories available. What happens in
Okay.
countries like ours is if something happens and someone wants to hear what a girl thinks, there's one or two people we all know of that are always called. And there's a breadth of people with ideas. So we wanted to create not only job opportunities and help these women be able to have livelihood, but also to create an opportunity for them to express their voice. And that's how Educate a Girl began, originally with media studies and journalism training. Then it grew and
Okay.
grew and expanded so much, so it grew to everything from motivation to self confidence to coding to e-commerce to grooming.
That's
Now we want to
great.
do more
Great.
freelancer skills like Photoshop and copywriting, which are hugely in demand. And this is something that is been an incredible journey. And then that was all live. And then Facebook was kind enough to partner with us with their foundation, internet.org, which provided its free basic software for us to reach over 1 million girls and be able to train them all over the world. We are currently in 7 languages, including Russian, French, German, so forth, and Urdu, of course. And we are available through that platform for all those girls. And the World Bank also selected Educate a Girl and myself as a WeMina champion. We're the only representation for all of Pakistan, and we're trained by them in Morocco for scaling this up.
Amazing, amazing step and amazing idea and amazing initiative. So God bless you. So you are also doing work on Ladies Fund. So Ladies Fund is one of your wonderful, I think, wonderful initiative to encourage more and more female entrepreneurs. So can you please share some more details of this project, idea behind this, and what supports are you providing under this platform?
So, Ladies Fun began March 8th, 2008, International Women's Day, with the first ever awards for women in Pakistan's history. Of course, there's the
Great.
Satara Awards that are for men and women and gender neutral, but Ladies Fun Women's Awards for Pakistan originally began as the Ladies Fun Women's Entrepreneurship Awards for Pakistan, is specifically awarding women. Today, there's many, many such awards, but our awards are ones that focus on extraordinary talent across fields, leadership, and especially those who are economic providers and job givers. So this is something very unique. Ladies Fund stands for Women with Economic Voice and Economic Power. That is why not only is it at Governor House, but the state bank governor comes because our women winners are often huge contributors to the economy and job providers and creators. Now, at the same time, we also have winners such as Mala Yousafzai, the APS school teachers after their passing, the polio victims. So we have a huge range, sportsmen, so forth, singers, So we have the best of all Pakistani talent, though, of course, that is such a huge number. It continues to grow as it's our 12th year, and we're far from running out of honoring the amazing women in Pakistan. And it began with that. It was inspired, of course, by the assassination of Benazir Bhutto, our twice prime minister, who died in October the previous year. And with her passing, there was a feeling both locally and globally that she was the only one who was extraordinary, and everyone was else was there was her, and then especially abroad, people thought everybody else was not allowed to do anything in life. And I had met so many women who were educated, were married, had children, had a small business, as well as teaching and all these sorts of things. And anywhere else, they'd be considered superwomen. And here they were very humble about it. And so we created these awards to honor them. And now, I mean, people campaign, husbands, brothers, fathers come up and, fight for them, demand that the woman in their life is the winner. And there's so much enthusiasm and support. It's beautiful. And the biggest testimony to that is, of course, the other awards coming out as well. Then that grew to the conference. Our conference has 600 women every year. And the speakers are the winners of the awards, as well as 2/3 women and 1/3 men. And we've taught everything from in fields of entrepreneurship and leadership to even franchising. Then we have our quarterly networking lunches, which train women in personal introduction and networking and business development, business friendships. And then once a year, we have a speed networking with 200 women. And that is something where, like a bell rings, harvest style, and you actually switch seats. So it's really, really exciting. We have our millennial program. We have our Ladies Fun LF VIP program, our VVIP program. Now we have our virtual series. Wednesdays we wear pink, where we've had professors from Columbia Business School and now one of the world's pandemic experts coming up on Wednesday. And our most recent passion is the Barak Center by Ladies Fun, which is Pakistan's first ever all-female incubation center. It's currently headquartered in Karachi, but plans to grow. And that's in partnership with LUMS and the German consulate, and was inaugurated just before the lockdown by Governor of Sindh. And it's an amazing place because Barak, of course, is the Islamic word for unicorn being a startup that flourishes and becomes, a $1 billion startup. And Barak technically is a Pegasus, which is the horse that the Prophet, peace be upon him, had gone to the seven heavens in on Shab-e Miraj, but is also the equivalent, basically, of a unicorn for us. So we look to have Baraks among our women startups. And their training is not only with LUMS in partnership with them, but as of a couple of days, Thunderbird School of Management in Arizona is also, inshallah, partnering with us so we can give global as well as local leading certification to the women who go through our processes.
Great. And especially I was watching the pictures, that is Pink Wednesday. I so much like that idea. I think in your meetings you wear pink on Wednesdays.
That's just for a Ladies Fun virtual series.
Yeah,
because,
okay.
And the Barak Center is totally pink. It's the most pink place probably on the planet. And that's unapologetically so. And I remember when LUMS had come just to see it, and they said, we love every single thing about this place. It's so awesome. Yes. But why is it pink? Doesn't it degrade women? Because that's implies that women in pink. And I said, no, it's something that empowers women. The Ladies Fund color was chosen by a color specialist in the UK who'd come to Karachi to speak at a conference. And the specialist had I think you lost for a sec, had come to speak, and they had analyzed our color and said it was the color for women empowerment. And if something's yours, why do you give it up? It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. And so it's so soothing, refreshing, empowering. So during this lockdown, many people have been in their pajamas every day. They're at home. They're like really super casual, and they're not meeting anyone. So we've been creating these virtual events, which are red carpets. In fact, we had offered to do it as red carpets in partnership with magazines, but all the magazines are closed. And by red carpet, I mean in your home, you would take a photograph, right? So what we did is we said everyone has to have video on. It's compulsory. Everyone has to dress up, and you have to have pink, whether it's a lipstick, a scarf, or an outfit. On Wednesdays, we wear pink, and we're unapologetically female and ready to learn, ready to expand our businesses. And we've done topics like how to survive, how tips for your business to survive during the lockdown. We've done gratitude and blessings out of this lockdown. Our next one is on about how we can learn from the Spanish flu of 1918 and the Great Depression, and to use those learnings. So the whole idea of wearing pink is also to inspire people to have something to look forward to. And everyone's been taking selfies of themselves at home and sending it to us and tagging it. It's really lovely.
Yeah, this was an amazing idea. This is an amazing idea. So, Tara, you have a wonderful series of achievement, like growing from one success to another seems quite a dreamer, right? Quite dream right. But I'm sure it has not been a smooth sailing all along. So, what were the major challenges that you faced while growing? And yes, you are working as a director in public sector. So, do you think working on such high positions, being a female is more challenging than men? Is it true, or what do you think?
So, first of all, every single person faces obstacles. And I think that the more you on the surface achieve, the more obstacles you often face. Like, I know in my life, it's almost daily the challenges and obstacles. And it's about being resilient, it's about being persevering, and about, like, you know, how they say, it's not about falling down 7 times, it's about getting up 8 times. And that's the same with everything. And in terms of your question specifically about public sector companies, like every other position, it's about doing the work. I have a series of board meetings next week, and you have to prepare for them. In the case of PSO, I chair the HR, the audit, and the IT committees. So not only do I prepare for the meetings, but I set the meeting agendas for 3 really important committees. That one has to do with the accounts, and one has to do with the human resource, which is the human capital of the company, and the third is, of course, the innovation and IT, which are critical. These are positions that you have to put in the hours for, you have to have buy-in for, and you have to align and work with your colleagues and learn from them and listen from them. And there's continual challenges. In our case, there's a circular debt, which is something that is beyond any one person, but definitely is a challenge. So all these things are obstacles. So not only is there an obstacle being somewhere serving a role, there's obstacles and preparing for those things, particularly if you're in lockdown. Then there's also the company's obstacles itself, and every company I'm associated with has its obstacles as well as its blessings.
So, the challenges are same as for males and for females. You
So
don't
absolutely, the work challenges are the same. Now
same.
there are different challenges for women in that, of course, although the male in both those boards that you mentioned, and also you mentioned LESCO, which was another board I served on. In all those cases, not only was I the only female, or am I the only female currently, though that can change any minute, there is also the first female ever to hold those positions. In the case of LESCO, the first female on any disco, from what I remember, if I'm accurate on that. And so the key is to be respectful, to bring value, and then you'll be respected if you bring the value. Usually, to any board I join, I'm the one with both financial and legal experience, because those are what I bring to the table, is running a financial institution. I'm also a specialist in Sharia law, which is what my degree is in. There's very few people who have a degree in Sharia law and finance, you know? So both the numbers as well as the legalities are the what I bring to the table. In terms of HR, it's an incredible, important role anywhere. And if you bring value as a woman to any position, value will speak. If I just ride the coattails and show up, I won't be in any position very long. So I'm very lucky to have these board positions, however long they may last, and I do my best to strive to contribute. And as a woman, I think your work speaks for you even more. And I've been very, very lucky that the chairman and the leadership of these boards has been extremely high integrity and very, very respectful and inclusive.
Okay. So you are doing wonders, and you will do wonders, I'm sure. So you have a lot of,
And so will
mashallah,
you,
mashallah.
by the way,
Thank you,
in your
thank you,
trajectory.
thank you. So you have a lot of successful ventures, from being a director to starting your own CEO initiatives, Invest 786 and NGOs. So what are the main factors that contributed to your success? Like, it was your passion, it was your belief, it was your vision. Like, you have very clear vision from very first day, or what was the factors behind your
Hard
success?
work, persistence,
Okay,
and hard work is a really, really, you have to put in those hours. You have to
okay,
learn continually being a student. So if you're talking from the point of view for your viewers who may be interested, I think it's extremely important to have a vision and focus, but especially when you're young, your vision and focus may be developing. So you must
okay.
always be a student and learn from those who, like, even on these board positions at this stage, more than anything, I'm a student. I'm a student of the company, I'm a student of the board dynamics, you know. Plus I've been trained both by PICG as well as by Harvard Business School Women on Board. So there is there's a student and learning element to every single position. And so that's very, very important. Even if I'm entering a position as a CEO, like 786 Investments is not only a Sharia compliant asset management company, it's a non-banking financial institution, an NBFC, listed on the Pakistan Stock Exchange. So it's a publicly listed company that comes with a lot of obligations. So all of that, you have to continually be a student. Now all these businesses are becoming fintech, all these businesses are becoming digital and virtual. So even if you were the best banker on the planet in old school ways, you have to learn new ways, you know? So every step of the way, it's being a student, a
True,
learner, and putting in the work and having an
true.
amazing team. In my case, the people I've been surrounded with, not only as mentors, but as colleagues and team members, are literally the deal breakers and also the main asset that makes these things successful.
It's true, true. Because learning is a continuous journey. When you stop learning, you stop growing.
I don't even think you can stop learning. It would be very sad, because
Yeah,
not only do you stop growing, you stop enjoying the natural growth that takes place in life itself. I mean, we're all learning every day during this lockdown. I
yes.
mean, I'd never dreamt what a pandemic was, you know? So every day we're learning together how to go through this, particularly in the new digital world.
I
Imagine
think we are
100 years
learning.
ago not
Yeah.
even being able to communicate like this.
Yes, and I think we are learning more during these days, during these pandemic days, because in normal days we are so much busy in our routine matters that we get some little time for this type of learning. You see, this is my learning. I'm talking to you. It's my pandemic learning.
Well, that's very flattering and kind of you. I think there's many types of learning. There's learning like you talk about, which is learning that you seek, whether it's reading a book, taking a class, talking to someone, being mentored. And then there's the learning that happens automatically from day-to-day work. And even though you're busy, especially because you're busy. And that kind of learning often happens when you fail or make a mistake. That's often the biggest learning of all. And that's not sought and is not usually by choice.
Yes. So, Thara, you are involved in so many projects at a time. So, how can you manage your personal and professional life? So, do you get time for yourself? I think it's difficult to manage.
I actually think out of almost everyone I know, I have more time than anyone because time management is my superpower by the grace of God, however long I get it. And energy management is even more important than time management. I I was born with an abundance of energy, but also energy management and time management are very critical. So if you do things efficiently, like what slows me down and drains me is drama and politics. Growth, learning, and time spent doing things I love, time disappears. I have a very loving family, and I spend more probably quality time with them than almost anyone I know. And I also go for my run. I love to read books. I have leisure time. I hang out with my friends, and I have so time is one thing by the grace of God that I have an abundance of. Thank God.
So it means you are good at management, whether it is a company, whether it is an NGO, or whether it is a time.
I think logistics and organization are my skills.
Yeah.
At least I hope they
So
are.
so in the last, any message you want to give to my audience, especially females, like any tip as a professional, as professional women need to be mindful of while building careers, while building their careers.
To go for it, I think it's really important to know that the only barriers are their self beliefs. If they need to speak to their boss, if they need to have a mentor, and there's a cultural discomfort one on one, to band together as a group and go together to meet their CEO or boss and have mentorship in a group if that's more comfortable for all parties concerned. But don't deny yourself that mentorship because of any cultural or other barrier. Do not deny yourself mentorship if you want it and the other party is uncomfortable. Create solutions to get the knowledge, the learning, and the opportunities you have. The biggest advice I can ever give women, and I give it to women all over the world, is to state clear, know your needs, know your wants, desires, and state them clearly. Your boss doesn't know you're not here for time pass unless you tell your boss that I'm here to put in the hours, to do the work. I'm here to be your go to person, room me, teach me, help me. Because every boss's dream is to hear that. And very few people say it, and then they get confused that they're passed over for promotion. So be very open with your ambitions. Women, by and large, are taught to be modest about their ambitions. Be open. Anyone who's confused by your ambition or doesn't know what to do hearing your ambition is probably not somebody who's going to help you with that ambition anyhow. But there are many, many people who will be grateful for your ambition, excited by your ambition, and want to mentor, help you, promote you, line you. And so be open with your dreams and go for it. And let your work speak for yourself. You can dress modestly and have the work show. And if you have personality traits, you can let your personality show, but let the work show first. If you lead with your work, and you make yourself invaluable by becoming a master of any subject or trait that you want to excel in, if you are the go-to person, you will be so invaluable that they will come to you with the questions, and then they will not let you go, and that gives you negotiating power, excelling power, and that is what makes women in particular shine and soar.
Thank you so much. Very nice message. So thank you so much, Tara, for your time, and you are a role model for all of us. So you are doing a wonderful job. More power to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're an inspiration. I'm so honored to be on your show, and I can't wait to see the continued successes you have. And thank
Thank
you all
you.
who are watching today. It's been such an honor to connect with you all. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you so much. Okay, bye bye. Thank you so much, audience. Thanks for the listening, and I hope you like the show. And see you tomorrow. Allah Hafiz.